In today's sports update, we're talking about a pair of national championship basketball games, so stay tuned. Welcome back. I'm James Farrar with today's sports update. March Madness may be what the NCAA calls their annual tournament to crown a national champion, but the trophies aren't actually handed out until the first or second weekend in April, beginning this year with the women's title game last night. The matchup featured a pair of coaches both going for history. For Notre Dame's Muffy McGraw and Baylor's Kim Mulkey, a win would mean joining UConn's Gino Auriemma and the late great Pat Summitt, who spent 39 years as the head coach of the Tennessee Lady Vols, as the only coaches in women's D1 history to win 3 national championships. Notre Dame came in as the defending champs and were trying to become only the 4th school in history to win back-to-back titles, joining USC, Tennessee, and UConn, but it was the tournament's overall top seed Baylor who jumped out early, controlling the game on both ends of the floor en route to a 43-31 lead at the half. After a fairly even third, Notre Dame, trailing by 11 entering the 4th quarter, began to fight back behind their starting lineup that is the only one, men or women, in NCAA history to reach 10,000 combined career points. With 5 minutes left, the Irish had tied the game at 74, and from there we had 5 different lead changes before a Chloe Jackson layup with 3.9 seconds left provided Baylor with the game winner. However, it wasn't until last year's Final Four most outstanding player Arike Ogunbowale missed the front end of 2 free throws with 1.9 seconds left that the game was truly sealed. Had she made both, that game likely would have gone into overtime. For Baylor, it continues a trend of winning the national title every 7 years, having last won it in 2012 and before that, 2005. Let's just hope tonight's game over on the men's side is as entertaining. It probably won't be near as high scoring though, since the game features the top defense from the regular season, the Virginia Cavaliers, against the top defense in the tournament, the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Both teams are vying for their first national title. Texas Tech got to the championship game behind that defensive unit, defeating Michigan State 61-51 in the Final Four. A win tonight for the Red Raiders would finally allow them to announce themselves in the national landscape of college basketball. Despite 2 straight Elite 8 appearances, Texas Tech has flown under the radar nationally under third-year coach Chris Beard. Beard took over after a series of high-profile coaching hires going all the way back to Bobby Knight in 2001, failed to elevate the school to the national standing. Beard's previous head coaching stops include Division III McMurray State and D2 Angelo State. His only year as a head coach in D1 level came in Arkansas Little Rock in 2015. Virginia plays for the championship after surviving one of the most thrilling Final Four games in recent memory. It was Virginia's Kyle Guy who attempted a last-second 3 with his team down 2 that missed and sent the Auburn Tigers and their fans into celebration before realizing that a foul was called on the shot. That's when the junior guard stepped up to the line and calmly sank 3 of the most pressure-packed free throws you will ever see to crush the Auburn faithful and send the Cavaliers to the title game. For Virginia and their head coach Tony Bennett, this could be the ultimate ending to their ultimate comeback story. It was just last year that Virginia became the first and only #1 seed ever, men or women, to lose in the first round of the tournament when they got blown out by 16 seed University of Maryland, Baltimore County, 74-54. The loss only amplified doubts over whether Bennett's style of play could win beyond the regular season. Bennett's 10-year tenure in Charlottesville has seen a ton of regular season success. They've won 4 ACC regular season titles in the last 6 years, yet overshadowed by a lack of tournament success, culminating with last year's historic loss. With almost everyone from that team back this season, a win tonight after everything they've been through together would mean that much more. Tonight's tip is scheduled for 8:20 p.m. on CBS, and that's going to do it for today's sports update, so let's get you back over to the news desk.